Hello and welcome to NBA Talk with Jordan Valdez. First things first, let's get to today's matchups. And our first matchup is Rashard Lewis versus Shawn Marion. Rashard Lewis is the starting small forward for the Washington Wizards. He can also play power forward. He was injured for about the second, most of the second, late, maybe the fourth quarter of the NBA season last year. If we were going to split into the fourths, and he's a pretty good player. You know, he was traded from the Orlando Magic where he was starting there too. He was really kind of their best player besides Dwight Howard, and but then he was traded to Washington, where after a little while of playing there. He got injured. He should be back. If he's back next season, I think he'll be pretty good. I like him a lot. He's a good three-point shooter. He can play pretty good defense. You know, he was in his prime with the Supersonics. Now he's in his 30s now, but he's still a pretty good player. So now versus Shawn Marion. Now Shawn Marion is the starting small forward for the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously he has a ring now. He just won it with the Mavs, and you know he's when you're on a championship team, that's pretty good. And so he's on a championship team, the Mavs, and he really contributed to that team. He's a great rebounder. He's a pretty good shooter. You know, he's got that crazy form, but they still go in. So I'm gonna give this matchup to Rashard Lewis. I think that he's a little bit better a player than Shawn Marion. I think Shawn Marion is a very good player, but I think Rashard Lewis is just a little bit better. Our next matchup is Chris Bosh versus Amari Stoudemire. Chris Bosh is the starting power forward for the Miami Heat. Obviously, he was an All-Star this year. He's part of the Heat's big three. He can also play center, 6'10". He's a little bit undersized when he's playing center, but he can do it when they want a lineup of um, one of their point guards, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Udonis Haslem, and Chris Bosh. Then he'll play the five. Um, he's a great shoot. He's a pretty good shooter. I'm not gonna say great, but he can also rebound and stuff. That's what makes him so good. Now Amari is pretty much the same. He's a starting power forward for the New York Knicks. He can also play center. He's also 6'10". He's also one of the better shooting big men in the league. That's actually good. I'm not talking about Channing Frye and Matt Bonner, but one of the more elite shooting big men in the league. Amari, he can step out and shoot, but he can also get inside and rebound. So they're very similar players. I'm going to give this matchup to Amari. I think that he has really carried this Knicks team even before they got Chauncey and Melo. So I really think that he deserves that matchup. Now let's talk NBA headlines. Nick Arison has been announced the Miami Heat's new CEO. Thank you for watching NBA Talk with Jordan Valdez, and I will see you next time.